The Last Echo of Winter, first-person revenge story. I was never a man of many words, even when I was young. But after my daughter Emily died, silence became the only language I understood. My name is Jonathan Hale, and this is the story of how love pushed an old man to seek justice. Even when the world refused to listen, I used to be a carpenter. My hands shaped wood into homes, tables, memories. When my wife passed away, Emily became my whole world. She had her mother's kindness, gentle eyes, soft voice, and a heart that believed everyone deserved goodness. She trusted people too easily, including the man who stole her life. His name was Michael Crow, handsome, charming, polished on the outside but rotten underneath. When Emily got engaged to him, something inside me felt uneasy. A father's intuition, maybe, but Emily smiled whenever she spoke about him, and I wanted her to be happy, even if it meant ignoring my fear. The night she died still lives inside me. I remember the snow tapping against the window. I remember the phone call that split my world open. They told me they found her near the river. They called it an accident. But when I saw her, the bruises on her wrist, the marks on her arm, the fear frozen in her face, I knew my daughter hadn't slipped. Someone had pushed her into death. Michael stood at her funeral with dry eyes and a calm face. Not one tear, not one crack, just a polite sadness painted on like cheap makeup. That was when I made a silent promise to my daughter. I'll bring you peace. I won't let the world forget your truth. Months passed. People told me to heal, to move on, to accept fate. But fate didn't kill my daughter. A man did. So I began digging. I learned that Michael wasn't who he pretended to be. He was involved in fraud, illegal deals, and dangerous partnerships. Emily had found out. She always asked questions, always tried to help. Her kindness became her doom. I couldn't fight him with fists, I was old. But I had something stronger, patience and a father's determination. I approached Michael pretending to forgive him. I told him I wanted to work on his new hotel project. He found it amusing. An old man asking for work, he agreed. He didn't know I was walking into his empire to tear it down from the inside. I built his office desk myself. Under it, I hid a recorder, the smallest one I could find. Every night, Michael sat there, talking on the phone, bragging about money he stole, threatening business partners. And then one night he laughed and said, "Emily knew too much. Soft-hearted little fool." My heart broke again. But this time the pain came with clarity. I had what I needed. A year after Emily's death, on a freezing night, I walked into Michael's office. Snow screamed outside the balcony like the world itself was warning him. He looked up irritated. "What do you want, old man?" "You took everything from me," I said softly. He smirked. "You're still alive. Be grateful."
I placed a small USB on his desk. "It's over, Michael. I gave everything to the police. Your calls, your deals, your confession about Emily. They're coming for you." For the first time, I saw fear in his eyes. You think you can destroy me?" He shouted, lunging at me. I stepped back, but my age betrayed me. I stumbled. He slipped on the icy floor near the balcony and crashed through the railing. The night swallowed him. I saw him fall, 2 stories into cold snow. He didn't die, but his empire did. When the police arrived, they arrested him where he lay, broken, powerless, finished. I didn't feel victory, just a long, tired exhale. Revenge doesn't heal. Justice only quiets the ache. A week later, I visited Emily's grave. Snow fell gently, like a soft apology from the sky. I touched her name on the stone, my hands trembling with a year's worth of sorrow. "Emily," I whispered, "I kept my promise. Not out of hate, but because I couldn't let the world bury your truth." A warm wind brushed my face, the first warmth I had felt in months. Maybe it was nothing, or maybe it was her. I walked away from her grave slowly, not as a man fueled by revenge, but as a father who had finally given his child the justice she deserved. And in the quiet of winter, for the first time, I felt a small piece of peace returning to me.